into RedRaiders.com. I'm Krista Pirtle, and we're here to talk about Red Raider basketball. Texas Tech is coming into this weekend off a loss in Ames. And while we don't really like to talk about moral victories, they did have a few up in Hilton Coliseum. They came back from an 18-point deficit, were within at least a possession most of the way through the second half. So Texas Tech showed some fight on the road, something we didn't see from the Red Raiders much, if at all, last season. Now Texas Tech hosts the #1 team in the country in Kansas. Now the Jayhawks are coming off that epic 3-overtime Big Monday win over Oklahoma, and in Bill Self's press conference yesterday, he mentioned that they were off Tuesday, and then the guys that played a lot of minutes on Wednesday, they had about a 35-minute practice, and those guys just shot around. So they have tried to recover mentally, physically, and emotionally from that huge win. Now, while they were at home on Wednesday and Texas Tech was playing Iowa State, the Jayhawks watched that game, and Coach Self said that his players really respect Texas Tech now by the way they fought back and made that a game. Well, if you look at Kansas, pretty much the same names. Yes, Perry Ellis is still there, and they pretty much have the same goal, going for their 12th straight regular season Big 12 title, but they're doing it in a bit of a different way this season. If you look at the last 2 years, 2 years ago they had Andrew Wiggins at the 3, a 6'8" guy. Last year they had Kelly Oubre at the 3, a 6'7" guy, so they were always pretty big on the outside, which caused for opponents to try to figure out how they were going to guard that spot. Pull up a forward, even with a guard, maybe try to double team. That was always a challenge. This year they're not doing that. Instead, they have Frank Mason at the point guard where he was a season ago, and then Devontae Graham, who came off the bench last year behind Mason, is now starting at the 2 spot. So that has 2 point guards on the floor for Kansas, which helps them in their assist-to-turnover ratio while giving them a lot of speed on the floor. So when you look at their numbers from last season to this season, Mason's points have increased to 13.2, and he has 78 assists on the season. And then Graham, his minutes are up by 13.4, and his points, where he had 5.7 a game last year, those have doubled this season. So that's really paying off for those two. And then at the 3, they're starting 6'5" Wayne Selden. Now Selden came in with Wiggins, and while he didn't get as much hype and attention as Wiggins did, he was still a pretty big-time recruit. Last year they thought they'd get a lot out of him, not so much, but this year he's really living up to that hype. He's shooting better than 50% from the floor, better than 60% from the free throw line, and he's up 6.5 points per game than he was a season ago. So he's at that 3 spot, and that has really opened up the options for him to really create his own offense and do what he wants. Now that's all Kansas we're going to talk about for now, but real quickly let's look at Texas Tech. One big thing at Iowa State, Coach Smith was concerned if on the road the Red Raiders could answer and stop the Iowa State runs. Well, midway through the first quarter, Iowa State went on an 11-0 run. It was a bit ugly, and Iowa State went up by 18. But then a layup by Keenan Evans, some free throws by Justin Gray, a Justin Gray layup, and then a Norris Odiase field goal put the Red Raiders on their own 10-0 run and cut the Iowa State lead to 8. That needs to carry over against Kansas, because Kansas is a team that can go on runs offensively, and then the game is over. Against Oklahoma, you didn't see that so much because Oklahoma has Buddy Hield. Kansas went on a 6-0 run, Buddy made a shot. Kansas went on another 6-0 run, Buddy made a shot to stop it. The 5-0 run, Buddy made a shot to stop it. Now Texas Tech doesn't have Buddy Hield, but they can play defense. The Red Raider defense has improved. Now, looking at the runs in the Oklahoma game for Kansas, you don't get a real feel. If you go back and watch the Kansas game against Baylor, that's where the runs got out of hand. An 8-0 run, a 7-0 run, an 8-0 run. Kansas was up 24-4, and Baylor didn't know what to do from there. So Texas Tech does not need to play like the Bears in that way. They need to stop the Kansas runs and make some offensive statements for themselves. Now that was a lot of stuff on this weekend's game. If you want anything else on Tech's game against Kansas, which is Saturday, 8 p.m. in the USA, you can check out LubbockOnline.com and RedRaiders.com. I'm Krista Pirtle. Thanks for watching.